To this regularly scheduled board meeting of the South Tahoe PD, if you would all please rise and join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Do you have any comments from the audience on non-agenda items? Hey, why did we get these old chairs back?
I know.
What are you guys doing to me on this? I feel like I sank down into a bucket or something. What is this?
You're on your toes, right?
Yeah, what happened to the old chairs?
The old chairs, but we took the old chairs out of the conference room while I moved them in here when these profiles sat a little bit higher, so we could see the board faces. But these chairs are apparently too big for that conference room, so now they're back in here. I'll order new chairs.
All right, first see if we have it in our board budget on this. Yeah, I just feel like
I think we could probably get some folding chairs.
Yeah.
Or maybe booster seats.
Yeah. Do I have to sit on a pillow, really? Oh, yeah. Okay. Comments from the audience on non-agenda items. Okay, I see the chair was a non-agenda item, so I gotta put it in the right spot. Okay, not seeing any comments from the audience. Do we have any corrections to the agenda of the consent calendar? Anyone have anything? I would like to make a change to the agenda. I would like to take items 6, B, and C and put them off to the next meeting. I don't think it's fair that we discuss board officers and positions without a full board being here. And this was a long, Stephanie's absence was a long planned family vacation. We knew this was coming. It's my fault for not pulling it earlier, but so I'm going to do it now. So that's that. Any other corrections? Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll move adoption of the consent calendar
Gee, I think-
and the agenda as revised.
Okay. I think that works. I'll second it. Okay, 4-0. Thank you all. What do you think, Nick? Your very first vote, how'd it go?
It was stressful. I was going both ways for a while, but maybe yes.
All right, we appreciate that.
But I gave you a very nice tutorial.
Oh, she did.
This is my wife woke up this morning, she's like, are you gonna know how to vote?
Okay, so that moves us down to item 6A, which we understand is Mr. Butler can talk about that.
Unfortunately, Chris Skelly, this was actually his agenda item. He is ill today, so he couldn't come in. But Tim is here, of course, as well as Debbie Henderson back here, who's actually the project manager for the entire Tyler conversion process. But this is for the utilities system conversion, and it's phase 2 of the district-wide Tyler conversion. It allows for a complete integration of the financial system as well as the utility billing system without any additional programming or any other manual processes to transfer data between the two systems. It's part of the original plan from the beginning. When we bid for the went out to bid for the system, Tyler proposed for the financial side, the utility billing system side, the payroll side, and the human resource side. And they were the lowest bidder for all systems combined.
Exactly what I was. Why are you here now? I don't know.
He's there to look pretty.
nomination to approve exactly what Paul just said, to Tahoe New World in the amount of $296,273.50 for the purchase, installation, configuration, and migration of data to the Tahoe New World utility billing software.
So moved.
We'll second that.
And as a little discussion, we went round and round on this for a long time on the budget. We were dealing with an extremely antiquated, how old was that old system we were working with?
9 years old.
It was so old, it wasn't supported by anybody. I'm not happy with spending $300,000 on this kind of stuff, but it was way, way overdue, and I guess we got our money's worth on the old version. So that's...
And there's a slight cost savings going ahead in the future. The annual maintenance cost on the current systems is about $29,000 a year, and the new system's about $17,000. So there is some cost savings going forward.
We should have this paid off in 3 years.
I'll come back and report it.
All right, and that passes 4-0. Thank you, Ms. Bledsoe.
Thank you.
So we just shortened this way down to payment claims.
I'll move approval of payment of claims in the amount of $1,698,150.28.
Anyone want to second that?
I'll second that.
Okay, 4-0. Thanks. Standing and ad hoc committee reports. Richard, did you want to start with Alpine County?
Well, I'll just start by reporting on the email that I got from Carol, that's by the CAO over at Alpine County, basically saying that, requesting of us that, if you remember, we were working on scheduling the next ad hoc committee meeting with their ad hoc committee around the second meeting in January to continue our discussions. So her email stated that due to some changing positions over there, that they couldn't make that meeting and they wanted to basically postpone further negotiations indefinitely. So what we have is we have under closed session, we have this case to talk about some of the details and talk more in depth about that and about where the board would like to go or not go in response to that. So the rest of the conversation we'll have in closed section of the potential litigation. And you remember that's what we would do because there is potential for any the discussions ending up in litigation. So detailed discussions of what our response may or may not be can is appropriate to be continued in the closed session.
Okay, very good. As far as other ad hoc committees go, Richard and Kelly and I met with Brooke Lane and Tamara Wallace for the City South Lake Tahoe ad hoc committee. It was Tamara's first meeting. As expected, at least as I expected, she hit the ground with running and was well versed on things of the district as well as the city. So I thought it went pretty well. We didn't discuss really anything new. We went over the same topics. We've been ongoing with the Liberty Lights, the snow globe upcoming, some ongoings at the airport, a couple of other things. So either one of you want to add anything that I want to miss? Okay.
And the good thing was, even though Frank, the new city manager, had to double book and didn't quite get the message over there, John was able to meet with him yesterday. I don't know if you want to share any impressions.
Yeah, I met with Frank for a couple hours yesterday. Seems like a great guy and up for the challenge, and looking forward to working with him. I think it's going to be really great working relationship between us and the city.
And I think that they're enthusiastic about continuing having monthly meetings. I think we set the schedule for the morning of our second board meeting of the month you have a meeting at 9 o'clock on that day, except for in January when they couldn't make that.
Yeah, we moved up January because of a conflict.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's going to be an ongoing deal between us, and I think when it's continued in the past, it's had, I think, very positive outcomes. And because I think the lack of direct communications allowed in the vacuum in the past for misunderstandings, miscommunications, and misperceptions to continue as comments to be made, and then I think with direct contact between council members and board members, I think it's going to really eliminate that going forward.
Yeah, when we were talking about, because camera was new, we were kind of saying, well, this is what we've done since we've had this, and we came across countless number of items that turned out to be savings and beneficial to the district, as well as savings and beneficial to the city, and actually I hadn't thought about it until we reflected back how much we've actually accomplished on that. So it's going to be okay, any other standing or ad hoc committees? Board member reports. Jim, you got anything?
Nothing for me.
All right. And I know you're a little new at this, Nick. You got something?
Yes, I do, actually. No, I just really want to take this opportunity to thank everyone and, the team at STPUD. You're getting into your emails, you're filling out the Joey's paperwork that comes with things, and everyone has been exceptionally helpful every step of the way to troubleshoot. And I just wanted to thank everyone for being so kind and so helpful through this process. Just as I'm really excited to learn the combined experience in this room, especially as it goes to water and sewer, and what's going on here is immense. So just to be with you, to learn this experience, and hopefully bring something to the table. I'm just really excited to be here, and thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it.
Great. Thanks. Had anything happened at the Colorado County Water Agency?
Jim went for me this past week.
Last week,
Oh, that was last week.
yeah, Richard and I went down. Richard's last time.
No, it's bittersweet.
And there be two new board members there, Michael Marinelli and Gail Coco were not reelected, so there'll be two new members. And there was not really anything that affected us much. The one item that probably had more discussion than any was on the statewide water conservation program that's coming up, and they've realized that quite a few of the smaller water companies really can't afford to do what do you call them, the drought planning plans that are required by the state. So the counties are going to have to take that over, and there was discussion on where the direction of where they would go and what the county would. They're going to be attending a meeting here in January, I believe, that discuss that. This Department of Water Resources realizes it's a complicated issue, and there's no real solution that solves everybody's problems and issues, because everybody's got different sources of water and as well as uses. A lot of these small ones, you can't really connect to another bigger, larger system, so they're out there on their own. So the state is going to require the counties to come up with some sort of plan. I'm not sure, Richard, if Lucas and Lakeside would come in under that.
Well, we as basically, them being smaller water companies, some of the rules are different.
Yeah.
But as an unrepresented area, we in the past have basically represented them down there. The idea, and I think it's a good one, they have, and they actually said it, is that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, that they want to be sitting down with the DWR staff and actually formulating the really detailed rules for these water conservation programs and we've realized that with the Mountain Counties group, that our issues up here are a lot different than out in the valley. Like, for example, when the state came with the idea of flying drones over everybody's property to measure irrigated area, well, it's not going to work in the mountains and see the tree canopy. So what are they going to do instead? So they want to be involved with bathing the water, the Eldertown Water Agency wants to be involved with their, and so there was a contract on there for EN2 Resources to assist them in that. And I think we will be able to input into that process at the water agency our concerns and our perceptions of the proposals as they move forward at DWR. So I think it's a good thing that what they're trying to do is they're trying to get at the table to develop the programs and the details of the enforcement actions as opposed to reacting once they're generated by the state staff. It's going to be much harder to change them than if you're at the table in front.
I want to get as much input now, and nothing's in effect until January 1 of 2020. So we've got a year to come up with something.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, general manager report.
I just wanted to remind everybody we do have a public outreach meeting. The first one moving into our budget process, and in this time it's since we've completed the last Proposition 218 process, to start a new one. It's tonight at 6 o'clock, and we envision probably doing one in January, one in February before we actually get to the board public workshop in March. That was the approximate schedule we did 5 years ago, just to maximize the outreach, maximize the chance for the public to hear what we're thinking about, what the needs are, and for us to be able to take in their impressions and their thoughts. So probably early next month we'll be basically be hearing for the first time from the rate consultant in terms of the work he's been doing. So we'll be able to provide that feedback to you guys for the first couple of
We'll be able to see
going to be the board meeting?
on the 7th of January, you'll be presenting some data to staff. And then on the 17th of January, which is your board meeting day, there will be a workshop set up before the board meeting, probably between 11:30 and 1:30, something like that. But that notice will go out to all of you.
Was that on the schedule? So that'll be a time to be lunch.
Yes. And it's truly just for him to roll out the preliminary data based on those initial CIP scenarios that were provided to him.
With the idea being to give you direction on what other things to analyze, other scenarios. So that's exciting work from accountants. As exciting as engineering.
Okay, anything else under, you have to know about? How about staff attorney reports?
A couple of things. One is on the El Dorado County Water Agency. I attended a meeting down there. They are working on a county-wide water resources development and management plan that'll look at water demands going out into the distant future and projecting those future water needs and comparing that to the current water availability within the county. They're proposing to look at the Tahoe Basin in that same kind of context. We, however, are also working with the other water agencies on water rights issues, and so we're going to have some conversations with them about how to develop those projections and coordinate and consolidate those. A couple of other things, I would like to introduce your new engineering department manager, Mrs. Julie Ryan, was our successful candidate, and really appreciate that. Congratulations, Julie. The last things I have are the Washington DC trip is coming up in February, and the earlier we're able to book those things, the better off we can get for rates, etc., hotel rates, etc., and wanted to poll the board for interest in attending that. Loving
I was planning on attending, if that's okay with Chris.
Yeah, I think that'd be good, Jim. I think you're the one with the most knowledge and relationship with the people back there. So if Shannon put up with you, I imagine you do.
You checked me right last time.
We've had a problem before this.
The first 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, will be with CASA, and then the Wednesday and Thursday is with Aqua, and then Shannon and I will stay over Thursday afternoon and Friday to do any other business for the utility district. We have several issues.
Do you think you'll be able to follow up on a lot of issues that you and Dwayne discussed when you went back on your own? I mean, you know, we originally had you guys go back there on your own, separate from this, because this is kind of almost a cattle call where everybody's heard it through the same offices. Do you still think this will be productive?
I do, particularly when focused on areas about forest management, forest health, right? Continuing to reiterate that there, I believe there is opportunities for additional monies through the Lake Tahoe Restoration Act and through our fire partnership to re-emphasize and re-hit those. Those will be key issues for us to address. But there's also one of the big drivers for removing earmarks is going to be going away, and that's Paul Ryan. So there's quite a bit of pushback in DC to reinstitute the earmark process, and now that he's out of a leadership position, there's an opportunity for that to come back, and that will.
If that does come back, that's even more. You got to get back there.
Yeah. And the way we do these meetings, we do participate in that cattle call with all the other agencies, but then the reason we're staying Thursday afternoon and Friday is those are our individual meetings with us and the folks from ENS to go and talk to our representatives. Yeah, we will. That will be a key part of those meetings.
I'm not sure it's really a town call as such, but they have people come in and speaking to us, bring us up to date on issues there, and they have people from the administration, from the agencies, EPA, some others to talk, and then we go to the lobby, and there's going to be some added emphasis on the headwaters issue of the committee that I'm on with Aqua, and there may even be a special group on that to go do some lobbying on that issue.
Well, I don't think anybody in Washington heard me, so I've got to put you something about my cattle call.
Yeah.
Several people from the border agency were planning on going to Aqua too.
Thank you.
I think Ken and at least one of the board members.
The last issue about
Sorry, Brian, I'm not sure. They decided actually who's going to go.
Is it Brian?
Yeah.
The last issue I wanted to bring up was snow globe, which is a significant impact to operations here at the district because of where they're at and the flood of people who come through this direction and that direction, and also during snow globe, folks jumping the fence and getting into facilities. Jeff Lee is coordinating with Richard, but also with the city and the folks who are doing security. Last year we had, I think, our best year yet as far as support from them, and that we had the security external to the plant that dealt with a lot of issues for us before they got into our facility. However, we still had people jumping the fence and getting into the property. We are pushing back with the developers and the coordinators and the city on Snow Globe to get them to have internal security for us for the first time, because our operators and staff are not trained security guards, and I don't think they should take that liability, nor do I think we should. So we're trying to get them to staff security within the plant itself, because as you can imagine, if somebody falls into a clarifier, we're probably not getting them out until we drain it. So there's some significant risk there for us and for those citizens. So we're trying to improve our security going forward with the event.
And we did discuss that today with the city people, and one of the things we mentioned was also with the internal security as to not leave as soon as snow blow was over, because they have a habit of leaving through our facility and lingering and having an after party. So they're aware of that now, and John knows who to contact on that, and you're in the loop on getting emails on that, so we're going to try to keep on it. But thanks, Sharon, appreciate that. That's all I got.
One little thing, one of my former partners who I've worked with quite a bit, he, as you know, was Deputy Secretary Interior. Now that Zinke has stepped down, he's now interim Deputy Secretary. And so we expect him to actually be appointed as Secretary of the Interior shortly. But that takes Senate confirmation. But I have a good relationship with David. So if there's things we need to reach out to him in particular, we can do that. The initial cooling off period where we couldn't talk to him for the first year has passed about 6 months ago. So, but they actually couldn't get a better guy in that position. He's very, very good.
Okay, I think that's it. You can all see the past and future meetings. We do have that one closed session item that we talked about earlier.
Section 2. If you look at the next litigation, section 2 case.